You know, it's not very often incredibly famous YouTube celebrities come together in a clash of titans. This might just be the most ambitious crossover, since the Paul brothers and KSI put their hot, steamy hands all over each other. And when there are forces of nature like Black Iron Battles, Gojira Gaming, and Professor Pone all showing up in a whirlwind of destruction, all you can do is sit back, smile, shake your head, and say, "Mama, there goes that man." Living legends, each and every one, and today, it's a free-for-all battle with the Hunter and the Beast DLC. Vampire Coast, led by Professor Pone, Skaven, led by Gojira, Norska, led by Black Iron Battles, and your boy, playing the Golden Order of the Empire. Love me some free-for-alls, haven't showed them off in quite a while, actually. This will be the first of two that we played together in a YouTube brawl for the ages. Gotta show some Imperial lovin', didn't play them enough during early access, but we'll try and rectify some of that here with the Black Lions War Wagon of Doom and Knights of the Blazing Sun. So, for my build, playing the Golden Order of Balthazar Gelt, but Gelt will not be on the battlefield today. It's mostly a Huntsman and Archer build. We really want to focus on that long-range firepower, make sure we skirmish down all the big monsters, and make sure that we don't engage in any kind of fights that will be kind of scary for all these squishy boys in the back line. Hail of Fire, Oil Flask, Glittering Scales for that -5 melee aura. It's going to be pretty useful to have him on the field because there are a lot of monsters to snipe out, and that is a great way to accrue a lot of points in free-for-all battles. Knights of the Blazing Sun aren't a unit I show off too often, but God, they look gorgeous in that black and yellow, and I like the color scheme for the Golden Order anyway. They're looking real good here, ton of state troops and some flagellants as well. For Professor Pone, he has a very strange build. It's almost all range, it's almost all gunners. There's very little chaff on the field in terms of melee infantry. It's all gunnery mob. And he's got Noctilus on that Necrofax Colossus and a Gallows Giant, the Torch of Bergenhofen there in the back, with a Queen Bess and a gunnery white as well. All in, man. Pone is all in on that firepower, and Queen Bess is one of the best tools in the game for free-for-all battles, I would think, because there is always something for you to shoot at. If your opponents decide to attack each other, you can just fire into the blob and get obscene amounts of points. And so Plague Monks will be his first target. They're going to get slowed down by the earth-shattering aura from that massive cannon. Storm Vermin with shields, Rattling Guns in the center, 3 Rat Ogres from Clan Moulder, and Ikit Claw mounted atop his own Doom Wheel. He'll be on the hunt with some Warp Lightning and lots of bombardment spells. So here we go. We got Clan Ashen in the center, Vanguard. That's going to be pretty interesting. They got Poison Shurikens, and they can be pretty brutal if they get on top low armor targets. Can really skirmish down pretty much anything in the game if you aren't careful with them. So most of us will want to avoid any kind of dealings with Clan Ashen here, because they will be able to chunk through your HP pretty quick if you try to chase after them. And Ice Trolls, Marauders, Throgg the Troll King, and a monstrous army from Black Iron Battles. 2 familiar with great weapons, 2 of these Ice Wolves, 3 of those Ice Trolls, and those Trolls are going to have to be very careful. I had no idea I was going to be up against Wintertooth and Norska at the start of this game. It's looking like how it's going to shake out. Ice Wolves will start chasing after my archers, but remember that Huntsman General, he's got a fire aura, and that can get the Ice Trolls all the way up to 95% fire weakness. If you put Hail of Fire on your archers for that plus 30 reload skill and the flaming damage, you can burn them to cinder in seconds. Absolutely shred them with the bonus first large from Huntsman as well. It's a nasty combination. And as the battle starts here, Glittering Scales will pop on those Ice Wolves, lower their melee attack by 5. Amethyst Wizard on a Pegasus even getting in there. And at the start of the match, taking doggos to the pound. It's like the Cleveland Browns. Lots of hype, lots of expectation, flashy units and big signings everywhere. Then you remember they're the Browns. Perpetual disappointment. Silly Browns. They're going to rout off the map. Ice Wolves taken to the trash can, and the Blazing Sun Knights will turn around and escape from that situation before the Marauders and Ice Trolls get in. Black Lions ROR moving up to fire into the Marauders on the approach. Nothing happening over on the Vampire Coast and Skaven side yet, so we'll shift on back and retreat. And by the way, Black Iron Battles did just recently have a kid with his lovely wife, so congratulations to him. Show some love in the comment section below. PJ, I believe is his name, so congrats to them. Bustlin' baby boy. That's awesome. But Halberd, Spearmen, and Empire State Troops ready to get stuck in, and they're going to stop this huge assault coming in from the Marauders of Wintertooth. who are going to get a little bit blobbed up on that single Empire State Troop. We're basically just going to try to tie up everything in this choke point and maybe open up some opportunities for the Purple Son of Xarius. Ice Trolls charging in, Oil Flask going down to lower the speed of those trolls by 48%, and take a look at their flaming weakness all the way to 95%. Now the issue there, I don't have Flaming Sword of Ruin, and the Huntsmaster General was a little bit too far away from the rest of his archers, so we couldn't pop Hail of Fire and give them all fire damage, so we're not completely utilizing that. Those Ice Trolls are still getting shredded by all that missile fire, and a Purple Son of Xarius coming in from the Amethyst Wizard. In this kind of choke point, it's going to be absolutely disgusting to watch as it rips through this attack. And Black Iron Battles is going full YOLO. Ice Trolls running right through the Halberds and Spearmen and trying to get into the Huntsmen and Archers in the rear. And Throgg is going right for him. Flagellants and the Knights of the Blazing Sun are waiting. Female great weapons into the Flagellants, and they're going to be able to crush that all day long. But Flagellants are unbreakable, so they will be immune to Psych, and they won't have to worry about fear or terror routing as the Hellblaster volley guns open up fire here. And this is probably the best Regiment of Renown in the entire Hunter and the Beast DLC, maybe the best unit overall. Yes, Dread Saurians and stuff are more impressive to look at, but I think that monster, that Black Lions Arawar Hellblaster volley gun war wagon, is probably the most effective unit, either from campaign or a multiplayer perspective. It is insanely good. Ice Trolls already wavering, but they're back into it now. They got their leadership back up. Throgg the Troll King also bouncing through. They're going to get right into those Huntsmen Arawar and smash them apart. But take a look at that gorgeous sandwich. Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Did you just watch as that HP plummeted? That HP bar was full, and then the unit was dead. Only a couple seconds later, Knights of the Blazing Sun, just a perfect Ice Troll sandwich. Complete surround off, and they melted to all that fire damage because, again, they have that weakness to flaming damage. Queen Bess opening up fire on the other side of the battlefield. Rattling guns in the back, you aren't safe. You can try to hide in the trees all day long. It's not going to matter. The Queen Bess will find you, and buffed up by the Gunnery Wight will have better accuracy, faster reload, and infinite ammo, essentially, which is very scary. Again, if you're going to bring the Queen Bess in free-for-all, I highly recommend bringing that Gunnery Wight because it makes up for all of its faults, which are low ammo count and not amazing accuracy, not amazing reload skill. All that stuff gets fixed when you've got a Gunnery Wight there. And the Rattling guns are getting pancaked back there. Shurikens, though, on top of the Queen Bess and Pone, probably going to want to retreat there. He doesn't have anything to reinforce them. Honestly, if I was Gojira, probably send those Clan Eshin Assassins in there, get the Gunner Runners on top of them, just kill them in melee. Probably going to be quicker. But it's a mess over on the Golden Order and Wintertooth side of things. Marauders and Femir with great weapons are trying to push through and get into those Huntsmen, get into those Sterling Deathjacks, and shut them down for good. The Cavalry is still alive, although they've just plunged headlong into a bunch of Femir with great weapons. Their armor sundering and magical attacks will not be the ideal target for them. Probably one where the Empire Cavalry will need to escape and go somewhere else because, yeah, in a long, prolonged fight, it's going to go very, very poorly for the Empire. But the Beasts of Wintertooth got shredded on the approach by that Purple Son of Xarius, by all the bonus for large from the Huntsmen, that accuracy, that focus fire, that synergy with the Huntsman General. Nasty for those trolls, and most of them are already dead. You can see some of the Ice Trolls have come back, and they are behind the Golden Order lines. Oil Flask going down on the Femir, but again, the Huntsman General not being used incredibly effectively in terms of his Hail of Fire buff. You want to make sure when you pop that Oil Flask, yes, it's useful for the slow, but really that flaming weakness is a big deal. When you can get that down to like 50% extra damage on Femir and give your archers fire damage, that's really going to be nice. But again, the Ice Trolls had no place in this matchup. It would have been even more brutal if I had brought a Flamecaster. I didn't, but even without it, these Knights of the Blazing Sun and the Huntsman General, their ability to imbue fire damage pretty much at will has just meant that the entire Ice Troll line was shish kebabbed and utterly destroyed without doing much of anything at all. So that was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie, it was really unfortunate for Black Iron Battles. The positioning, where he decided to take the engagement, even the troops I had to counter him. I just had the perfect counters in every facet of the battle there. And that meant the Beasts of Wintertooth felt the fury of the Golden Order. Over on the other side, though, Gallows Giant, the Torch of Bergenhofen, spewing napalm everywhere, torching the front ranks of the Skaven. Remember that he does have a bonus versus infantry of, I believe, 25, which gets his melee attack up to like 75. So it's really not so much about that flamethrower on his arm, as cool as it looks in terms of the animations. It's really about his power and his terror causing in melee. And so he's going to continue just blasting all of these Ratmen as they charge in. Ikit Claw on that dual wheel, though, will be doing a lot of killing back the other way as cannonballs rain down from above from Count Noctilus, and Rattling guns are continuing to fire in as well. Warp Lightning on top of the Spectral Gunners might be enough to finish them off. That is magical damage, and that was a very good one. That managed to hit more than half of the unit in a very kind of pancake formation there. More Rat Ogres charging through, and the Gallows Giant still that bastion in the center, but Clan Eshin starting to make their presence felt, getting all those poison shurikens going his way. That focus fire could be enough to bring it down in relatively short order if Pwn and the Vampire Coast are not careful. Noctilus is positioned well. He is in the trees, so the Rattling guns will not be able to do too much damage to him. And another Purple Sun. Guess who's back? Back again. Amethyst Wizard's back. Tell a friend. Purple Sun going to send those Skaven, those Eshin assassins, to the Netherrealm. They were trying to shut down the Gunnery White, Gunnery Mob, and I believe get at that Queen Bess artillery crew, which Pwn has positioned very cautiously, very intelligently in the trees nearby to hide and bide their time, waiting for a perfect moment. Dual Wheel getting a rear charge into these Gunnery mobs, and that should be enough to finish them off for good. But the Gunnery White is still alive, and so are the artillery crew for the Queen Bess. And Pwn is being a very sneaky boy. His brain almonds are very much activated. What he's going to do is hide them in the canopy. Gunnery White giving them more of their ammunition back, and when the perfect moment arises, he will pull them out, get back on the cannon, and start dropping the hammer with those earth-shattering effects. Gallows Giant, Rat Ogres were charging in. They're like, we're going to do something here. No, you're not, sir. One smack. Turn around, you wieners. They're going to run off the other direction. And Eshin Gunner Runners surrounding the Gunnery White, but he should be able to defend himself. No problem. They're severely depleted after that Amethyst Wizard Vortex spell. Gallows Giant and Noctilus are still alive, both about half HP, which is really surprising, but everything else has crumbled in the face of the Skaven assault. Gojira and the Skaven have a decent amount of stuff left, and honestly, Pwn not bringing melee troops, just bringing Gunnery Mob and handguns was an interesting strategy. A bold one. Hasn't worked out bad. He's second on the free-for-all list at the moment in terms of points, but the Gunnery White firing into the Black Lion's ROR, and that could generate quite a lot of value for him as well. But the ROR War Wagon isn't just good at killing infantry or cavalry, it can also snipe out big single entity monsters. So the Gallows Giant and Noctilus are going to have to be very careful, especially because the Huntsman General and all his archer goons are moving up and getting their focus fire salvos on top of two of those very high value targets. Flaming Magic Missile going to smack Noctilus in the face, and they need to move now, ASAP, or they're going to drop. Look at this focus fire, the bonus versus large, and all that reload skill. It's too much for even Noctilus to get away from, and he'll try to, but he's just getting pegged, and he's going to lose a peg there, lose his leg, collapse into the ground, and the Gallows Giant will follow him into an early grave, or a late one, depending on your perspective. There he goes. Torch of Bergenhofen is out of the fight too, and that is an obscene amount of points going my way. So I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty happy with that. He did not realize that all the Huntsmen had moved up. Remember, they do have stock, and so they moved into range and blasted apart those Necrofax Colossus, and we are well ahead in terms of free-for-all points at this stage of the battle. Oil Flask going down on the Gunnery White, making sure he cannot close into melee. More of that focus fire coming in, and that just means more points. Racking them in now, man. And he's not going to be able to close in. He's going to get maybe one attack off before crumbling, and that will be the end of Mr. Gunnery White. But the Skaven are still a threat, and the Queen Bess is back online. Pwn with the sneaky plays, smashing into the Huntsmen, and that's just the first shot. He's got more coming in now. Full ammunition, cannot allow that to stay online. It looks like the Skaven are trying to close that down and actually do have some of their Eshin gunner runners on top. Another beautiful shot, making mincemeat out of Marauders, sharing some queenly love and Kryptonian breath from Throgg. How it feels to chew 5 gum. Magic Missile, Flaming Magic Missile, dealing a 25% extra damage against the Troll King and the Huntsmen, firing into him as well. So we spared the Wintertooth beasts, and now they come back for our blood, coming back for vengeance. Knights of the Blazing Sun are ready to receive their charge, and a Purple Sun Azarius will greet them. A beautiful orb of death, Shaiish, ripping through not only the Wintertooth lines, but also the remnants of the Imperial troops as well. Probably not the ideal cast. I always seem to get some friendly fire damage in when I cast Purple Sun, and that is a mass rout as the Knights of the Blazing Sun charge in from the rear. But Throgg does not feel like going down. He's going right for the Huntsman General, trying to salvage some kind of dignity from the disaster that was this battle. Knights of the Blazing Sun will greet the Rat Ogres in the woods. Neither side will be getting their full stats in because they'll both be very tired by this point, and fighting in the woods will give them even additional malices, but seems like it will be enough to finish off those Frankenstein monsters from Clan Moulder, and the Imperial troops are just spreading out all over now. Problem is, they are leaving their Huntsman General relatively unsupported. The Knights of the Blazing Sun will see it, and they're going to try to get their flaming damage in and around the Troll King, completely surround him, and finish off the King of Wintertooth for good. Will it be enough to save their lord, though? I don't know. Throgg is angry, and he wants that Huntsman General's booty, and he's going to try and get it. Here in the front lines, Spearmen, Flagellants, and the Sigmar Sons Unbreakable troops. One Knight of the Blazing Sun in a horde, a veritable vermintide. Skaven are just completely surrounding him. He's going to kill 2 or 3, but it looks like all those spears will be enough to bring him down. I don't know if he'd be happy with that death or not. He is completely outnumbered, but it is poopy little rat man at the end of the day. I think that was a pretty heroic death. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. Huntsman General looks like he's 1 hit from death. Throgg has continued to beat on his ass, and he's running the wrong way. He's running into the middle of the Knights of the Blazing Sun instead of away from Throgg, but it looks like they just managed to kill him in time. I don't know if we'll see that Huntsman General again this battle, so close to the white line, but at the end of the day, he did survive, so I'm sure he's happy about that. Gunner runners getting run down by Knights of the Blazing Sun in the shadow of all these Druchii encampments. Palisades up on the flanks of the map, and Throgg trying to escape, but he's going to shatter here in only a couple of seconds. At this point, there is no way either Pone, Gojira, or Black Iron Battles will be able to take victory from me or the Golden Order, but we still got work to do because we need to finish off Throgg himself. He's down. And even though this is a foregone conclusion now, I honestly feel really bad for the troops that have to continue fighting. Imagine if this was real life and you make it through hell. You make it through just, let's say, Gettysburg, Antietam, or this battle right here, and there were actually technologically advanced humanoid ratmen and big undead colossus statues that fire cannonballs out of their arms. Let's just say that happened. You're in a situation where you make it through a hellish battle, and then at the very end of it, when you are seconds away from causing a mass rout and being safe, finally, you have to charge in to a bunch of angry storm vermin or Skaven slaves, and they stand and fight for only a handful of seconds, but long enough to kill you. And you're just like, you are so close to making it home to your family and your loved ones. But these Knights of the Blazing Sun, they still have more work to do, and they are still losing men as they charge over and over again. But it looks like the Vermintide is breaking, and it looks like a mass rout is imminent. Only 1 more Skaven slave or clan rat unit on the field, and they're up at the top of the hill. And that's that 1 bridge too far for the Knights of the Blazing Sun, who, we don't have to sacrifice them, but we're going to. We're going to charge them headlong because it's going to look epic. That's going to be the Ride of the Rohirrim. Blazing Sun Knights, flaming lances, flashing in the sunlight, straight into the teeth of the Skaven defense. They are braced for it. They didn't get knocked back very far. That bracing bonus helped them tremendously, and they're going to duke it out here at the very final seconds of this battle. And again, a few more Knights of Hormidia will drop, but more of the Skaven slaves and the clan rats will die before it's all said and done, and the Empire will manage to take the field. So, that was one of the first battles I played with the Golden Order. I have used it with Gelt as well. Gelt is fun as ever. Final Transmutation is still awesome, but I'm honestly really liking the Huntsman General and the synergy he has with Huntsman. I'm liking Huntsman. The stock they have, the focus fire they can put out, the flaming damage, the combination with Oil Flask and Flaming Sword of Ruin, all those synergies are really fun to play around with, and they can be absolutely amazing for shutting down monstrous play. That's what we saw there. Now, to be fair, Ice Trolls would have been probably fine against the Vampire Coast or Skaven in those matchups, but he went up against literally the worst person on the field for his army to go up against. Black Iron Battles had to send trolls into flaming arrows, like bonus for large flaming arrows. That's not an ideal combination. He had to throw them into the teeth of Knights of the Blazing Sun. We got that amazing sandwich on one of them where their HP bar went from like 5,500 HP down to 1,000 in I think 4 or 5 seconds. Just amazing to watch that. But yeah, I honestly, I was not building my army to counter Ice Trolls. I wasn't expecting to see Ice Trolls, but it worked out incredibly well. And they did nothing that battle because of it. The positioning there was also a little bit suspect. Probably don't want to be fighting the Empire in a choke point like that where the archers can focus fire down your monster so easy. Skaven had a whale of a time though. Rat Ogres, 2 of them got over 100 kills. Vampire Coast and Pwn, a Queen Bess almost got 200. Gallows Giant and Noctilus himself, I mean, they're always beastly. They're really, really good monsters. Gallows Giant isn't always amazing, but in free-for-alls, I've seen it do a lot of work quite a few times. And when you throw that into melee against the Skaven, or against Norska, or hell, even against the Empire, he can definitely do a lot for you if he's chunking through great swords and that kind of thing. And it was just a really fun battle. I mean, it was not the closest free-for-all we've ever had, but in terms of the massive variety of units, all the huge single entity monsters, the big vortex spells, the big shots from the Queen Bess, it is always a fun time, and it's not going to be the only free-for-all you see from me very soon. There will be another one coming. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.